start recording. Where we left off. I see where we left off because I put a big nice line in my notes for me to reference.
Look at you.
Oh, look at that. I'm not completely worthless as a GM. Okay. So
You're a great GM.
I'm glad you guys appreciate it.
We love you.
So, Fen, your story having been left in Calamrock Castle, you underwent some sort of ritual, and you last remember holding your arms out over a basin and Malachar coming up with a knife and slicing up your arms and just seeing some red pouring out before you pass out. After falling unconscious, you are hit with a vision where you are greeted with the Raven Queen making her presence, and she alludes to needing to be more forward with your control and blessings from her, and says that you need to be more open, I think is the right word I want to use here, to playing a part not just in keeping people alive, but also shepherding them to the other world, to their death. And after a couple of
He's now got a license to kill.
Tough decisions, yes. You were met with your escort who came along with you in this vision,
Beat his ass.
Who decided he wanted to challenge you to see how your new powers were going to be used. Unfortunately, you had not really tapped into them quite yet, and you were a little unsure of how to use them. So using what you knew best and doing what you do best, even though it looked like you might come out on top, unfortunately, he was able to slay you. Upon falling unconscious inside your unconscious dream, you were hit with another vision where the Raven Queen put you back into the room that you were in and gave you the choice to go back out towards the light or to open up your mind to the darkness. And having chosen the path that is darkness, you have unlocked some new powers from within you. And having been through this experience and falling into this abyss that you were falling in, you had stepped into the darkness and you could feel her presence around you, but it was cold and icy. Your idol started to kind of glow this black shadow around it. You could see your skin was starting to kind of pale out and become grayer. While falling in this void, looking out at the universe, very abruptly you are awoken, lying on the ground, catching your breath, and you are in that very same altar room, sitting at the base of the stone basin at the top of the steps, Malachar next to you, the rubble down in the middle of the throne room. And you see signs of, upon first glance around the room, you see signs of magical energy being blasted on the walls on certain spots. Unsure what that is from.
Like emitting from the walls,
No,
or
like almost like burn marks on the walls where it
got it,
looks like a magical blast had hit the wall or something.
got it.
Unsure of what had happened and what is going on. The only other person in the room with you that you see is Malachar right now. But
Okay.
upon turning around, you do see the bodies of both Alistair and the other Grung.
Aw, poor little frog.
Right? Yeah, the other Grung, because Salona was the third one. The other Grung lying face down, still behind the stone basin that you remember standing at. You feel a stronger tether to the Raven Queen, almost as if you are directly connected to her now, but through this like it almost like she's got a finger on your back. Like there's a cable connecting you now. Um
Oh, I think.
what?
Ooh, hello.
Hi.
Hi. Sorry. Almost like she's got what?
Like a cable connecting your back, like a string that you almost feel like a puppet, but not all of your limbs, just kind of like a Woody, like a string off the back of Woody. You almost feel like it's you feel connected, and you feel that that goes directly to her, but it doesn't feel very reassuring. Um, the world around her feels. Think of like an old movie where like the edges of the picture were just kind of softened a little bit. She's
Mm-hmm.
now perceiving the world in this softened edges. There's almost like this eerie mist and film grain that she's perceiving the world in. Um, Almost like she can begin to see another layer of how things are in the world around her, almost as she can see the essence of the things that are around her. And as he sees Fen wake up, Malachar looks down. Good, you are awake. I hope your experience was worth it.
I thought you were gonna launch into the Skyrim intro for a second. Oh, good, you're finally awake.
Nope. Nope, we're gonna
Like,
keep that as far away as we can. Nobody's getting shot in the knee.
anyway,
How
um,
are you feeling?
she kind of takes a second and kind of does a couple of slow blinks to kind of get her bearings, and she sits up on the floor. I assume I'm on the floor, right? Laying prone on the floor.
Yeah, you have sat up. You're now sitting kind of like your feet off of the first step of the altar. The altar goes up into the stone basin. You're sitting on the center of the altar up top.
So yeah, she kind of sits up and sits there and does another couple slow blinks, and then looks down at her forearms to kind of inspect where she had remembered being briefly cut before falling unconscious.
They are completely healed. No sign of any damage there.
And is my skin all kind of the same color or texture that I'm used to it being?
It is not as moist. It's almost as if it has dried out.
Turning
Um,
me into a toad. Oh,
it feels kind of like wrinkly almost. Um, and that blue color that she was beginning to turn that bright cyan. It's almost as if the saturation has been turned way down on it, and it's while there's still this very very hint of that blue, it is almost like a translucent gray now.
Okay.
It's very off-putting.
Like decay.
Yes.
Like
Like
the
if you
color.
like it, like the underside of a frog, you know, that like white kind of
Mm,
nasty looking. If you
yeah.
kind of like took some
How
like,
dare you call frogs nasty?
I
How
mean,
dare
if you
you?
took like some, if you took like just like a blue light and shined it at it from like 10 feet away, just to kind
Mm,
of give it that blue look, yeah, it's kind of like that, but that's the outside of your skin now.
alrighty. Um, so she takes a moment to kind of inspect her arms, and she takes in, first of all, she's glad that she's not, bleeding out from the wrists. um, and, and she kind of takes a second to, um, and she looks up at Malachar and kind of sits for a second before it registers that he's asked her a question about how she's feeling. She goes, different.
Good. It should feel different. Means it worked. And as
What?
go ahead.
She goes, what did you do?
I opened your mind and your heart to the world around you and the universe around you.
To death.
It's part of it. So many
And she
untapped powers that good and life make us blind to. I simply presented you with another option.
she kind of is like lost off in her own thoughts for a moment. And she just kind of like dramatically stares off into the middle distance. And says, I think I understand.
I think that's a good thing. Although, unfortunately, I think we're just getting started. There's one.
Unfortunately,
There's.
I it seems I have so much to learn.
You do. You do. But there is one piece of unfinished business that we must take care of now. And he turns, and through the doorway that you were brought up from the dungeons, where unknowingly your party had tried to sneak through and get into, you
Mm.
see for the first time entering into the castle this tall, hooded figure with no face gliding gently to the base of the stairs, or to the base of the altar. It seems you two have a unsettled score that you need to resolve.
She kind of just like just very subtly just kind of like she stands up just a little straighter and kind of steels herself and excuse me. She reaches her hand like just kind of almost imperceptibly back to kind of put just a couple fingers on her staff and like kind of out the corner of her eye takes a look at the bodies of Alistair and the other grung on the floor and just kind of makes a mental note of how far away they are.
They are each about 5 feet. They are directly on the other side of the basin. It's almost as if the three of you were stood, if you all stood up around the basin and then collapsed.
Got it.
So they
Okay.
are right next to you.
Okay. So she's cut kind of a couple fingers on her staff and she's like just out of like her periphery kind of like making a mental note of like their bodies and what condition they're in.
Uh,
Um,
they make a medicine check to see if you can tell how fresh
how fresh?
or what kind of condition they are in.
9.
You can tell that they're not breathing.
Oh, cool. They're not
It
sleeping with their entrails on the floor.
no, they're not sleeping with guts everywhere. But they are not breathing. Um, but you can't tell how long they've been like that from your quick glance.
Okay. But anyway, that's kind of, and she's not like trying to make a big deal out of it. She's kind of waiting to see like, oh, are they gonna have some sort of interaction? Are they gonna have a conversation? Am I gonna potentially be up against both of these two? Because I don't want to do that. Are we maybe all friends now? Like she's waiting for somebody else to make the first move, but she's just a little bit like, if I'm gonna get my shit rocked, I just want to be prepared for it.
Um, as this hooded figure floats on in, Malachar takes a couple steps away from you and almost recedes to the side of the room up against the wall, halfway up the stairs. So, imagine 4 steps. He's on like the second or third one, back up against the wall. Kind of leans on his cane, almost as if like he's just gonna watch what happens here.
Mm-hmm.
And as the cloaked figure gets to the base of the steps, you see him stick his bony single finger out from underneath his cloak directly at you,
Is he like pointing at me?
pointing it directly at you.
Can I take a look at his chest and see if it looks like there's any remnants of where I hit him in whatever realm we were in?
You see that his cloak is torn in the places where you tore it,
Okay.
but you don't see. You can't really, it's.
The
You can
damage
see that
underneath.
it's torn, but you can't see behind it.
Got it. Um, is he like? Is it just his finger pointing at me, or is he like reaching out for me?
Right now, it's just his finger pointing at you.
And he's still like,
It's just like this.
okay. She's gonna hold fast and just stare at his finger, and then look back at him. And she's again still just keeping like just a feather touch on her staff, and she's just staring at him, just staring him down.
As you are staring him down, his finger point turns into an open hand, and you see this black ball of energy begin to form in his hand. A very familiar black ball of energy forming in his hand.
Same one that rocked my shit earlier.
Same sort of energy.
Hold please. Hmm. Am I able to make a quick perception check?
Sure.
Wait. Okay.
What are you trying to do? What are you trying to look
I
for?
want, I want to determine whether this man's qualifies as undead, because I would think yes, because he's skeletal. But if he's like an otherworldly being, then he might be some like separate category from undead. Is that something I'm allowed to roll a perception check for, or no?
You don't know anything about what
Okay.
this figure is in front of you. It's unlike anything you've ever encountered. It's nothing like the undead you've ever encountered. It's nothing
Got
like
it.
any of the ethereal beings you've ever experienced or read about.
He's just a weirdo freak. Got it.
Yes, you don't
Um,
have any idea what they are.
then I'm not gonna fuck around with it. Let's see.
But I will say, give it a shot. See what happens.
I'm just weighing out my options.
Just see what
I've
see
got
what
all these
happens.
I've
Just
got
see
all,
what happens.
I've got yeah, whatever, DM.
Just see what happens.
I've got these new abilities. I wanna like
Okay.
I I'm doing my research.
All
Okay?
right.
Doing my
All
research.
right. Fair enough.
Um because some of these I had already, but this one's new. I don't want to use that one yet. I should have done this before.
It's okay. There's a lot too.
Oh, geez. Well, that's all cleric, so that's all old. Oh, wait. Ah, I see, I see, I see, I see. I should have sat and read through all of this prior to right in this moment. You know what? I'm not going to because she hasn't had the time to sit and learn this stuff either. She's just
She
woken up.
literally just woke up and can feel that she's got all these things that she can do, but she hasn't
She
had the
don't know how to
time
do
to
it. She don't know shit.
introspectively review the new things that she can do or try stuff out in her spare time.
Right, she don't know anything. Okay. Um, because the other thing that I'm thinking, and this is like, because I've played, I think it's Divinity that has this mechanic where if you've got like undead and you cast healing spells on them, they do very badly because it doesn't heal them, it hurts them.
Hmm.
So, I've got that like hanging out in my head here as well. But again, if he's not technically undead, then I don't. I'm, she's having all these thoughts quicker than I am. I'm stupid. Um, I don't
I
want
will
to
throw
do.
this out to you. Conceptually, little metagame here. Would you rather heal them when they're at full health or half health?
I mean, yeah,
Right? Because there's no overhealing.
correct. Also, I could try that at a time when it is the stakes are far lower, and I am not by myself.
Now, also true, yes. You know, you get all these cool new powers, and I immediately murder you.
Well, he did just kill me once,
He did.
so
He did.
I don't know. You know, she wants to be a little careful. She's gonna hedge her bets a little.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna play safe. That's why she didn't see him and immediately come out swinging. She did that last time. She bonked him right in the head with her staff,
She did.
and that went well. That
It
particular move went well that one time.
it did something.
Does not mean that we're gonna rely on it. Doesn't mean we're gonna take bets twice.
We're not tickling him.
No. And we haven't rolled for initiative, so we're not in combat yet.
You're learning. You're
So
learning. He has not aggressively attacked you, and you have not aggressively attacked him yet, although it looks like he's getting ready to.
but I can move without an attack of opportunity at this point in the game because we're not in combat.
You could. Technically,
Good.
yes.
Again, I'm just verbalizing all of these options
Yep.
here
Yep.
for all of our lovely loyal viewers.
All the
are very-
fans.
all the fans.
Yes, all the fans.
Brandon. Um,
I think Brian has been watching.
yes, Brian.
Yeah, Brian's been watching while he's been playing like Truck Simulator to catch up and get some meta knowledge of what's going on.
He said he wanted to listen, and then he's like, I gotta pay too much attention to this. I can't.
Yeah, he was like, dude, it's an hour and a half. I was like, yeah, we're only halfway done.
Because this one's a yapper. Okay. I'm getting close to the time where I gotta just do something. Okay. She's gonna take a big step back.
Okay.
And she is going to. I have a plan. It's the loose concepts of a plan.
I have the concept of a plan. They don't have a plan, but they have the concept of a plan.
Well, I'm not president right now. Anyway, I can choose one. Is that the only one that I can do? Just one. Yeah, okay. Ooh, interesting. Okay.
Somebody found some of their stuff.
Oh, no. This is old stuff
Ooh.
that I can repurpose in a way that I didn't.
Okay.
Okay. Because this is a spell and not a cantrip. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I am going to cast not raise undead, but animate dead, because those are two different spells.
Yes, they are.
And I have both of them.
They are two separate spells, correct.
And there are two bodies on the floor.
There are two bodies on the floor. Yes, there are.
So she is going to take a big step back and be like, whoa, homie, I don't want any of that. Nope, I don't want any of that nonsense. No, I'm not playing. And as she's walking away, she's like quickly fidgeting with a little satchel that's attached to her belt here. And she pulls out her vial of rabbit's blood that she has, and hold please. What? Because I know I have. Yeah, rabbit blood. And
what? Your material.
What?
Your material things. Your spellcasting focus, which is your cleric symbol.
Yeah.
Counts for those unless it is given a gold value. It is also considered, if you have a components pouch, that you just have those in the components pouch. So yeah. Your spellcasting focus, as long as there's not a gold value on it. If there's a gold value on it, or a monetary value, I guess is what it is. If there's a monetary value on it, then it is, you have to physically have acquired it and put it into your inventory at some point.
Okay.
But for things like a drop of blood, a piece of flesh, and a pinch of bone dust, those are all can be cast through the spellcasting focus, or if you have a components pouch, which is the other way to do spells, then it is assumed that those are already in there.
Okay.
Because they're just common enough items for a variety of spells that you're going to be casting.
Right. Well, either way, I have them in my inventory. But she has a little, like almost like a coin pouch, but for dead things.
Yes. Yes. Yes, she
I love
absolutely has a components pouch specifically full of these things, which you have gathered in the campaign, in addition to being able to cast this through your
Yeah,
amulet.
but just dead things. Like there's
Yes,
the components pouch, and then I like to think that she has a pouch for dead things because she likes the dead things.
she does like the dead things. She has like the
Like
raven's feather in there, the rabbit's blood, stuff like that. Yeah.
right, like a pouch. She's got some like dried fungi.
Yeah.
Like she's got all sorts of
She's
weird dead
a
shit.
weirdo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's a weirdo, and
She's a
she's gonna
weirdo.
get more of a weirdo.
Yeah.
She's gonna start collecting like eyeballs and things. Like she's gonna be really cool. I love
Gross.
it. Yeah. But like as she's walking away, she like quickly whips out like the little bit of like she gets a little pinch of her bone dust and like takes a piece of the rabbit pelt that's in there and like rips a piece of the leather off, which is like and um and just takes one of her little fingers and dips it into the vial that's inside the little pouch and all like just fumbling as she's like walking away from this dude, just like eh. And she takes them into her hands again as she's like taking a couple steps back, and she mutters a quick prayer over it and kind of rubs it all together in like a little balm in her hands and walks over to the grung that's on the ground
Okay.
and does a quick check to make sure that he's actually dead and not just unconscious and not breathing.
No pulse.
Okay, cool. So he's dead. Yay. I
That
wasn't sure if
you
you want to make
find.
me roll.
No pulse
What?
no pulse that you find.
Sure. Right. It's fine. Um. And I'm gonna cast Animate Dead on him by just kind of putting both of my hands across his chest with this like light balm that I have, and again just saying another quick word while also keeping an eye on Mr. Dragon Ball Z over there.
So he's still sitting there, kind of with this dark energy in his palm, and you, having muttered the incantation, begin to see the. First, you see like the fingers and the toes begin to like twitch, and then the body begins to start jerkily rising up, and it's a very crude reanimation.
Like what I saw in my vision.
Huh?
Similar to what I saw in my vision.
No. No, this one sucks compared to the one in your vision.
Oh, this was worse. Yeah.
Yeah, this one sucks. This is your very first one you've done with a real corpse that wasn't guided by.
Which is bananas, because she has already had this spell.
Yeah.
This is not a new spell for her.
Yep. Nope, but this is the first time she's reanimated dead.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it gets up and it's all jerky, like one of the really crappy Walking Dead zombies, right? Where it's like almost like a thriller zombie, where it's like.
Mm-hmm.
But your grung friend does get up, and it looks at you and kind of does one of these, and in its little zombie move, it just goes, and then turns towards Mr. Tall, Dark, and Handsome.
Mm-hmm.
I
love all the nicknames this guy is just collecting.
He's got a lot. Upon seeing you create a zombie from nothing, Malachar does give you a little bit of a, okay, let's see where this goes, as he's resting on his cane, just watching. In fact, you look over at him after you do this, kind of like, what the hell? And you see him, and he's like one of those like street performers where like they have the cane, but then on the cane is a is welded like a piece of metal, and they're sitting and it looks like they're sitting up, but he's actually like just resting on his cane, sitting cross-legged in the air, floating up because he's a wizard and can do that.
Yep. Typical.
Yeah, just using magic for fun.
Casual.
Yeah,
Casual.
yeah,
Whatever.
casual. And upon seeing you generate this zombie, uh, are your companion and what do I want to call him?
Escort.
Escort, sure. Uh,
A male escort, if you would.
Reaches out with his dark energy, and you feel it tugging at you. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, I believe it is, but you get advantage.
Okay.
As you feel him try and suck the life force out of you again.
14.
14. You feel him begin to pull, almost like you can see some of your soul and your life essence begin to flow out of that chain that has connected to you, that tether that's connected to you. And as you do, you feel this tug at your back. You're getting pulled forward by this connection to him, and you feel this tug from behind you, where that feeling of that like string that's connected to the Raven Queen. You almost feel it pull you back, and that essence comes shooting back inside of you. And immediately, he pulls out his scythe. And we are in the shit now.
Yay!
But it is your turn.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm thinking. Let me check. Is that a concentration spell?
Animate dead?
Yeah.
No.
Cool.
You just need to use a bonus action to command them, I believe.
Oh, but I only get one bonus action per turn, right?
Yes. If you issue no commands, the creature only defends itself against hostile creatures.
Okay.
But once you have given it an order, it will continue to do that until its task is complete. So use your words wisely.
Okay. I assume it will continue to do that until the task is complete, unless told otherwise.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
If you issue no commands.
Right. Okay. There it is. So does that mean that if I use a bonus action to command it once,
you decide what action the creature will take and where it will move during its next turn. On each of your turns, you can use a bonus action to mentally command any creature you made with this spell, if it's within 60 feet of you. If you have multiple, you can do it. You can control them all the same or individually. You decide what they will do on and where they will move during its next turn, or you can issue a general command, such as to guard a particular chamber or corridor. If you issue no commands, the creature only defends itself against hostile creatures. Once given an order, the creature continues to follow it until its task is complete.
So if I give it,
if you give it like a general command and then don't tell it anything else, it's going to do that until its task is complete, and then it'll just.
I can use bonus actions to do other things.
Yes, you can.
While it continues to do that thing.
Yes. That's how I read it, and that's how we're going to do it. It's smart. It's got enough of an intelligence, 3, to be, hey, go stand at that door, and then it'll stand at the door, right? It's not going to just. And then if you tell it to do something else, it's going to know it needs to do something else and not just stand at the door, right?
Got it. All right. Well, then I am going to. Do I want to? Yeah, I do. I am gonna take the same balmy hands that I used to make my little grung zombie, and I'm gonna bring Alistair back to life as well.
Okay. So now
I
you
got
have
two
a
zombos.
now you have a second one. Ooh,
Two zombos.
2 zombos. All right, I'm here for this. Let me steal this.
I have a plan. I have a plan.
Has a
I don't know.
plan.
I don't know if it's a good plan,
Okay.
but I have a plan.
Let me put the character sheet in the other thing since I didn't actually grab it beforehand because I didn't think you were going to be animating dead.
Really?
I did not think you were going to be animating dead. No. I gave them to you
After,
to animate, but I did not think you would do it.
just full of surprises.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably more of an oversight on me, but
Yeah, I thought the whole point of you putting them there was like, hey, you just learned all these things, which honestly, again, this spell's one that I already knew, but
it wasn't. Honestly, it was not for me to be like, oh, yeah.
cool.
It was more for you to
Learning
be
it.
like, hey, are they dead because of me kind of thing.
And she's just like, nope,
She
let's
doesn't
just.
give a shit. Oh, look, bodies. I'm going to borrow these real quick.
I mean, she's not close to them. She doesn't know them. She saw them briefly for like 5 minutes. And Alistair was kind of a dick, and the Grung was unconscious. She doesn't have any emotional attachment to these people.
To be fair, the Grung was not unconscious. You just purposefully ignored her.
Oh no, she was dried out.
No.
And we didn't get a chance to sit and talk because by the time we got her like somewhat hydrated, we all got separated.
Your party
Yeah, correct.
didn't understand that they couldn't talk to her because she has no common.
Yep, and we just didn't get far enough.
Yep. No.
The stars didn't align.
They didn't give a shit. It's fine.
Sometimes you miss a connection, and you know.
Yeah, or a whole quest line.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
Or 8. Or
yeah, I mean,
more.
I wish we could have, but it's too late now.
Yep, it's fine. I'm not bitter.
I am, and I don't even know what I missed out on.
I am bitter. I'm very bitter. You guys are really bad at doing things.
Hey, I'm not blaming me. I'm blaming the rest of the party because I like
Fair.
to explore things, but
Fair.
they're all a bunch of fuckwits, except for Jess. Jess is not a fuckwit.
Yeah, she just gets overpowered, so she's like, whatever, I don't give a shit.
Right.
Alright. So you have 2 zombies now, and you can
Two
tell them to
zombos.
do something.
I'm gonna instruct both of them to, like you said, I gotta use my words wisely. I gotta put on my like genie talking hat.
No, you mentally communicate with them. They're not here to trick you like genies. They are stupid as fuck. They are zombies.
Okay.
They're not
So
masters
if I just tell them to attack what's his face, the dude.
Which dude?
Escort. Tall,
Okay.
dark, and handsome.
Okay, yeah.
Not Malachar.
Yes. Yeah, they're smart enough to understand. You can
Yeah.
point and be like, "Hey, go fight him." Yeah.
Go fight him. And yeah, fight him.
All right. So
I'm gonna keep it simple, stupid. Fight that guy.
upon raising your second skeleton, the 2 meander off. Both, although Alistair, to be fair, doesn't look as jittery when he walks. He's a little more fluid, but he's still a little unbalanced. He rises up and looks more like a Walking Dead zombie than a Thriller zombie, right? He doesn't look intimidating in and of himself, but you can see some potential with a couple more goes at it. Maybe you can get some 28 Days Later zombies up in here. Or some like World War Z zombies. Right now we're
Radioactive zombies.
yeah, right. You almost got like a Shaun of the Dead zombie kind of thing going.
Hey, that's very on brand for Fen, though. Fen is not intimidating. She's not creating intimidating monsters.
No,
She's
they are.
creating subpar, like Z-less movie monsters.
Yeah. So,
like it's a guy in a green suit. It's not. There's no CG.
yeah. So they both you instruct both of them to go and attack. The first one makes a swing, and the second one makes a swing, and both of them trying to slam their arms over on to your ex-companion, failed miserably, and he just kind of like half sidesteps them, and you see his cloak go from looking at them to looking up at you. And neither one of them connects with their attacks, unfortunately.
Totally fine.
And he does take his scythe, but you see him twist the handle of it, and you see the blade detach, and a chain emerges, and it kind of becomes like a God of War scythe chain mace thing.
That's spooky.
And he's going to take a swing at each of your zombos.
Good. That's what they're there for.
That is exactly what they're there for. Hitting both of them for... I have to find my dice because I was totally prepared. 4, 9, plus 4, 13, 19 onto your grong. You see the chain wrap around and him yank it back as the blade scrapes along her back, and you see that same like sucking of her life essence come out as the blade rips along her back. You see like life essence and soul, if there was any on a zombie, kind of get pulled out with it. And then you see him, oh, this is 3, go over to Alistair, and with one fell move, you see him kind of pull it back off of the back of the grung, spin it almost like a lasso up over his head, and wrap it around the chain around Alistair's neck, and with a yank, he pulls it, the blade helicoptering around Alistair and slicing his head clean off, and his already zombie corpse falls to the wayside.
Cool. That went well.
It did go well.
So are they both dead though already?
No, the grung is sitting there, although it's like the flesh is like falling off and the torso's like half torn apart and it's like leaning sideways, but it looks like it's about to completely collapse. But no, it's still standing and still ready to continue your commands.
Okay.
But Alistair's headless and on the ground again now.
Yeah, okay. Hey, you know what? I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Here for it. It was awesome.
I don't expect much from a zombo, and if you just take a hit every once in a while that I don't have to take.
Be the shield, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's just a HP sink. That's all it is. Can I help you with something? He's very polite.
Hi, Trip.
Hi. I'm busy. Love you. Okay, so she is going to... how far am I from him right now? Because I was backing away when I...
So, you backed away. He was at the base of the stairs, 5 feet to where you were, 5 feet to the basin, 5 feet to Alistair. You're about 15 feet away from him.
Okay.
He's still at the bottom of the stairs. He has not moved up.
I'm going to take another few steps back.
Mm-hmm.
Just keeping distance between the two of us. and I'm going to cast spiritual weapon,
Okay.
and I'm gonna bring out a matching scythe with the chain. Basically, I'm gonna look at his and be like, "Fucker, let's do this again, round 2."
That's cool. That's real cool.
So I'm just like, you got one, I got one too.
I got one too.
Fuck you.
Do you put it on the front side or the back side of him?
Where's the grung? Is the grung behind?
Grung is off to the left. So if he's looking, is like 45 to the left, or I'm sorry, 45 to the right. Alistair was 45 to the left because it was the pull back into the swing.
So my grung's on the right.
Him facing you, it's on the right.
On his right.
Yeah, stage right.
Whatever the opposite side that the grung is on.
Okay, so like over top of Alistair's body.
Kind of. It's like flanking him.
Yeah.
Do they get flanking damage if with a spiritual weapon and a zombie?
Yeah. It's just advantage.
That's okay.
But yes,
That's
you
right.
would get advantage.
All right. So I get my fancy scythe and I what?
Okay. So roll an attack for your spiritual weapon with advantage, flanking with the zombie.
Okay. So I'm gonna wait, which one am I hitting? To hit. 14 or 14. Okay, so it's a 14.
14 hits.
Cool. For 10 points of force damage.
10 points as the scythe comes through kind of on his side and back. You tear into the cloak some more, and you can see some exposed skeleton on the chest and arm. That black smokiness flowing between. You don't get a glimpse of his chest where you hit him earlier. But the robes are beginning to look very tattered. And then your zombie then takes a swing and hits as he's distracted by your spiritual weapon.
You guys are crazy.
Where is this?
Chris, do you want your coat off? Oh, not you. Back up. Back up.
And it takes its falling apart hand and smacks him upside the head. Doesn't look like it's very effective, but contact was made. The corpse is falling apart, right? Like it's what do you really expect out of it?
Apparently, I'm being ejected from. Hey, can you guys back up? Back up.
Upon being attacked by both of these, he's going to take a swing at the zombie to kind of get it out of its face. First, he takes his like the blunt end, the staff end of it, and shoves it in to the zombie. And then you see that chain scythe turn into this almost like it shines and then it turns into a sword, and he lifts it up and now he's holding a sword, but instead of a metal blade off of the end, it's almost like a ghostly flame coming out. And he has slain your grung zombie, who falls split in half, kind of like a filleted fish.
Poor dude's having a bad day.
Yeah, back down onto the ground.
He killed twice in one day. pretty rough.
Yeah, they are not having a great day.
Sidebar. Quick sidebar. Can we just take a moment to appreciate how fucking cute
I
her little
love
stealth tip is?
I love that coat.
What not you? Like her little
Oh my, it's a spacesuit.
her little switchy snow pants.
It's a spacesuit. It's a snowsuit. Is she going
Yeah, it is.
snowmobiling?
Yeah, it is. That's the whole point.
Hilarious.
And she walks around my house like a little toddler. It's just like. What are you looking like that for?
That's awesome.
What are you looking at me like that? Weirdo.
Having exhausted his attacks, he is going to give your spiritual weapon an attack of opportunity as he walks. Having slayed your grung friend, he will walk up and face you face to face, closing the 30-foot distance between the two of you. Unless you backed up further.
I was 15 feet.
You were 15
before.
feet, yeah.
Yeah, I would have backed up only probably about 15 feet.
Yeah. So closes the gap. As you begin to run out of room behind you, you are now approaching the wall.
Mm-hmm.
He closes the distance and is standing directly in front of you menacingly. But you do get an attack of opportunity with your spiritual weapon.
Hell yeah. So do I roll to hit?
Yes.
Okay. 22.
22 hits. So roll some damage.
I don't... 4.
4.
Come here, my love.
As your spiritual weapon slices off the back of him as he is walking away from it, a big chunk of the robes fall to the ground, and his entire left side is exposed skeleton.
Oh boy!
Now,
big 4-point hit.
Yes.
It's a crit.
Yes.
Okay. I am going to cast. Ooh, no, I don't want to do that. Do you want to know what? Ooh, that was your head. That was a big bump. It says undead are unaffected by this, so I am not gonna cast that spell. Just in case. What I am going to cast is, believe it or not, Sacred Flame.
The Sacred Flame comes back.
My radiant damage.
As you cast your Sacred Flame, I need you to make a Wisdom saving throw. You feel this menacing, imposing figure not coming from this feeling not coming just from him, but also from that connection off behind you to the Raven Queen, where you almost feel like you're throwing a match down a chasm. There's a little bit of light coming from the match, but there's a lot of darkness around you.
I rolled a 17.
17. That match that you throw down that chasm becomes a roaring fireball and meteorite as your Sacred Flame erupts from you directly at his chest where you hit him before, and I need you to roll some damage.
Okay. Can do'sville, baby doll. 14.
14. You
That's a 14.
see your sacred flame bellow out and hit him square in the chest, and you see all of his robes immediately erupt and burst into flames and disintegrate immediately. And standing there with the same sear mark that you hit him with in your vision, that same bare spot where the black energy doesn't seem like it can get to, and that million-mile stare into his eyes, you are revealed standing face to face with this skeletal presence as he recoils from the attack and begins to try and shake off that black energy that's flowing in between all of the bones, kind of almost like gets pushed off of him completely as like shadow of the skeleton floats behind him for a second before it begins to rejoin and form up with the skeleton again. Would you like to attack with, bring your spiritual weapon back and attack with that as well?
Of course I would.
Of course you would. So roll an attack as it moves and traverses the battlefield as you blast this creature with your sacred flame.
21.
Roll some damage.
9.
9. Coming up behind your scythe, the chain wraps around his shoulder, and you can see the scythe kind of latch in as your spiritual weapon yanks itself in the chain down. You see him recoil as this pulls back, and this red line appears, in not only brandishing the bones, but also scarring the black like cloud in that area and turning it red. Beginning to look at you and wondering what it should be doing.
I pivoted from my first plan to my plan B.
Yes. You see,
or maybe plan C at this point.
You see the ghostly flame, this green ghostly flame coming off of his sword begin to almost like shrink a little bit. It's not this intense fire, it's almost like this ghostly watery substance. But upon this yank from your spiritual weapon, you do notice the sword is diminishing, is a good way to put it. You see him stick his arms out, and this swell of black energy around him comes, and you are encompassed in this sphere of darkness, and almost immediately these tendrils shoot out from him and begin like attacking you, kind of like Venom or Doc Ock, right? And I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
1. Or a 2.
You take 8 necrotic damage as one of the tendrils comes flying across you, hitting you, and you can feel your soul getting sucked out and this darkness enveloping you just from the touch of this creature. After doing that, you see him reach his hand out, and that black ball of energy begins forming in his hand again. And he attaches that black chain to you and pulls, and you can feel your soul being sucked out again. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw as well.
Hello? Hello? What's happening? D&D Beyond was having a connection.
It'll do that.
Constitution saving throw?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, damn! 5.
Ooh.
not doing well all of a sudden.
You take 16
Mm.
points of
Oh.
necrotic damage as you feel this being suck your soul, and you can see your soul energy being transferred down the line connecting the two of you, and you see it enter his hand, and that black smoke around him gets a little bit darker and thicker as the chain breaks.
My turn?
Yes.
Okay. I am going to cast Spirit Guardians. And I'm going to call forth Fey spirits to protect me.
Fey spirits, you said?
Fey spirits, yes.
Okay. What do spirit guardians do?
They flit around you to a distance of 15 feet for the duration, which is 10 minutes, up to 10 minutes. When you cast a spell, blah, 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 blah. An affected creature's speed is halved in the area, and when a creature enters the area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there, it must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes radiant damage.
Okay. And are you standing in it? Are you centering it on you, centering it on him? Oh, they are 15 feet around you. I understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, to protect you.
Okay. Cool. And then do you want to attack with your spiritual weapon again?
Mm-hmm. Sure do.
Yes.
Damn it. 9.
9. Your spiritual weapon tries to carve into him, but it is, as it begins to latch on, you see him almost parry it off with his little sword that he has developed, or has grown.
This is a very dramatic fight.
It is. Your spiritual guardians circling you are a little too much for him to bear. I need you to roll some damage for me. As these fey creatures, who seem to know what you're fighting.
17. These fake kids are pissed.
That's pretty monstrous. Who seem to understand and know what it is you're up against. Assault in a way that you would not expect from these spectral beings. They don't seem to attack the skeletal form at all. These fey creatures almost phase through the skeletal features of this opponent of yours and are attacking that black energy directly. And you can see with each attack that they come in with, excuse me, not only does it look like it's having an effect, but it looks like it is too much for this being to handle. And with one last gasping flurry, he's going to take 2 swings at you with his newly crafted sword. But in doing so, he's going to shift it from a regular longsword, and it's going to turn into a great sword. And the first one will miss. Let me double check.
You looking for my AC?
The 16 hit.
Yeah.
2d10s. First one hits for
Say it.
20
No.
plus 8 necrotic damage. It's a monster
Ooh, uh-oh.
roll.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
And the second one
No.
misses.
Fuck.
So he comes through. You see this sword burn this bright lime green dark energy, and you feel it as he slices through. You feel your soul being rendered from your body. And as he comes across to swing again, there's nothing stopping him from going right through you, but as he does, he comes across and you see this black wing come down. As the sword hits it, it almost it's almost like a candle being blown out as he crosses in front of you with nothing, and the second it crosses across you to where the other wing is, it is reignited.
That's cool as hell.
Real cool.
Fuck yeah.
And
She's gonna take a quick pause, like a quick beat, and like a really fast beat to kind of like grasp what happened, and she really briefly just kind of looks up and goes, "Thank you. Like we'll chat later," and like continues on. And I'm gonna cast Prayer of Healing on myself because I'm not waiting for him to have one more turn.
right, go ahead and heal yourself.
And that's gonna be for 20 points.
Ooh.
Feeling a little bit better. Still not quite halfway, but I'm feeling a little better. And I'm gonna hit him again with my spiritual weapon.
All right, roll an attack.
11.
11 misses.
Okay. And are my spirit guardians still?
I need you to roll a concentration, constitution save for concentration. You need to clear half damage. So you took, what, 28 total? So you need to clear 14 with a constitution saving throw.
Damn, 10.
So your spiritual guardians are gone.
Bummer.
He's going to look at you and he's going to take 2 more swings with his sword, which he has reshifted back into that same scythe that he had the first time.
And again.
The first one hits.
Damn it.
Second one misses. First one hits for
Better not.
15 slashing damage and 5 necrotic damage as this scythe tears into you again.
You take away all that healing I just did.
I did, I'm sorry.
Bastard. Okay, my turn again.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm pissed. Now Fen's mad. Because Raven Queen came and helped her out. And then she healed herself, and this punk ass little bitch was like, no, not you.
Absolutely not.
And she's like, all right. She's like, rolls up her sleeve and like full like Dragon Ball Z
cracks her knuckles.
Fires up another sacred flame.
Sacred flame, all right. 16.
16?
Mm-hmm.
Damn it! I wanted that to be so dramatic.
Mm-hmm. She pours her heart and soul into it. And he just very casually steps to the side as he sees, she's getting all dramatic with it. You can see her, there's a big setup for it, and he kind of is just like, shoots across and slams into the rubble on the other side of the room.
Fen is kind of an idiot that way. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. I'm in trouble. Is my spiritual weapon still out and about?
It's up for like 10 minutes, isn't it?
I think so. Okay, I want to hit with that again.
Go ahead and roll an attack.
Nat 20, baby.
Roll some damage.
10.
10. As your spiritual, as your, he dodges this attack from you, your sacred flame, and he turns and looks at you.
It was just a distraction.
And he winds up with his scythe, and as he is coming across, and you are completely exposed, and you see the blade coming, and you're just like, shit. Your spiritual weapon scythe comes and clips him in the top of the skull and rends down, splitting him in half as he crumbles into a pile of bones, and his scythe falls to the ground next to you.
Did I do it?
With this look of horror on your face, you just hear Malachar begin clapping. Well. That was a show. You look like shit.
Huh. I want to actually ignore Malachar and go check out his scythe.
You want to pick it up?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna inspect it first before I touch it.
Okay, what are you inspecting it for?
Does it seem cursed? Does it seem like it's gonna suck my soul and tie me to it for eternity?
Make an
Does it have bad juju?
Make an Arcana check.
Okay.
Or a religion check. Either or will suffice for this.
Oh, then I'm
if you're looking for let me rephrase this. If you're looking for magical energy to determine if it's cursed, make an Arcana check. If you are trying to determine if this is going to be a cursed item from the perspective of your relationship with the Raven Queen, you can use a religion check for that.
Oh, no, then I'm going to do Arcana.
Okay.
Because even though I have a lower bonus, I'm mostly just looking to know if it's magic.
It's magic as fuck.
Okay.
But cool. It doesn't seem cursed.
Okay, well, I'm gonna pick it up. Oh, fuck it, I'm gonna pick it up.
As you pick up this scythe.
I've learned nothing. I've learned nothing.
As you pick up this scythe, I have an item to create for you to give to you because it's a pretty sweet scythe. Malachar just kind of... You go over and grab it and you feel it, and it's so light. It's so light.
I'm able to swing that thing.
You would expect this. It's a 5-6 foot scythe, right? Like it's this creature that you stole this from.
I'm only 2 feet tall.
Yes, this creature that you took this from, right? He was 7 feet tall, and it was as tall as him. He was using it, and it is Grim Reaper scythe. And now you pick it up, and you expect it to be just overbearing and huge, and you're holding it. You can barely tell how what it is, whatever, and you go to like stand it up, and it fits you perfectly.
Love that. It's like it's like a dark version of the Santa Claus, except instead of Tim Allen,
Yes.
it's a frog.
Yes, it is. It is a dark version of the Santa Claus. You can shave your beard all you want.
You look like the Pillsbury Doughboy. That's the second time I've referenced that line in a week.
The Pillsbury Doughboy.
From Tim Allen's The Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Not in a week, this week. And this week's only half over. I've referenced that line twice.
Awesome. Uh, so Malachar walks over to you as you're kind of like inspecting and checking out your new scythe.
Is it? Do I have to add it to my inventory?
No, I will add it for you. I have it in there before tomorrow for you. And he just goes, "Not bad, little one. Not bad. Like your new toy." Points to your scythe.
2. I might keep this.
I have a
She's just
feeling.
kind of like really creepily staring at it, like with a slightly too much affection for what somebody should have with an inanimate object, like almost like how Gollum looks at the ring.
I have a feeling that you're going to want to hold that very near and dear to you.
She's just like gazing at it, and she just kind of like has this like little smile that pops up on her face. So she's like,
you have an odd attraction to never let this go. Okay.
yeah. She's immediately like, I need this. I'm picturing Gollum with the ring.
Yes.
Like she's got
Not
a
as
voice
like
in the back of her
sucked
head.
in, but like
She's got the voice in the back of her head that's just,
yes.
but more froggy.
Yeah.
If Smeagol was a frog.
Yeah, you're gonna wanna hold on to that.
Immediately sells it.
Of course you are.
I'm not going to. No, that's a Luke Dash move.
And you can see Malachar's just looking. I know you're looking at your scythe, but eventually you glance up at him, and he's just.
She catches his face in the reflection of the blade.
He's just kind of got this look of. He's almost awe-inspired by you. Like this deep, deep curiosity. What happened? What happened to you?
When
we were going through the ritual, what happened to you?
You don't know? I thought
I can only show you the path. I can't walk you down the road. I kind of almost licks his lips as he's saying this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know how your grung friend kind of not all there. We call that the first try. Your second one takes years to get one like that. I mean, the one you just took down I spent 40 years making him.
Made him?
Had some help.
He killed me.
Yeah, he does that. That's his thing.
And so, and then when he showed up just now, I figured I would kill him first.
Why didn't he kill you again?
I didn't want him to. She says it so like matter of fact, like
You don't have a say.
obviously.
It's between me and her. You don't have a say. Gave you the authority.
What, to decide whether I live or die?
Yes, that authority.
I did, and the Raven Queen. We had a conversation.
Upon mentioning her name, you see him get visibly uncomfortable. What did you two talk about? Was she there?
She sees how like that suddenly he's having a reaction, and like something's different in Fen now. She's like tapped into a part of herself that like she didn't know was there, and now she's feeling a little hot shit. Like, and I think probably rightfully so. But she sees how upset he is, and she sees the dead guy on the floor, and she's like, "Oh, I just mentioned the Raven Queen. He's upset. He's dead. None of this was possible a couple minutes ago." And she looks at him, and she just goes, "Okay, my dog's throwing up on the floor." Sideways.
Yep. Yep.
He's dead. Um, she just looks at him. She goes, "We talked about stuff and things."
Which door did you go out?
Why?
Which door did you go out?
I don't know why. What was the other door? What were the other doors to?
There's
She
only
she
one.
has a moment where she starts to let her ego run away with her, and then she like has this like come to Jesus moment where she remembers where she is, and she's like, "Hang on, no, I'm not." She like reins it in a little bit.
Little Fen, I have made that journey. I have gone through that door. I was not.
Sure.
He looks at you like, don't play stupid. I've gone through that door. I was never able to do what you just did. And I don't think you quite grasp what you just did.
With the zombies
No, not the zombies.
or with that guy? My
Yeah.
the corpse that I took the scythe from
I
immediately the body.
I need to go have a chat with someone.
You do
You're
it.
yes. Yes.
We already chatted.
No, I need to talk to her. You need to not move.
Why?
Just don't go anywhere. And he walks out the back through that same door that you fell through into the void, but it just goes
Mhm.
into like some you see into it as he walks in there. It's just some back room in the altar, almost like an antechamber
Mhm.
with like a desk and some
And
books that you can see.
she's gonna take just a brief look around, and can I briefly look at what's his face's body again, see if there's anything else interesting on it?
Sure. Uh, as you look at it, it is a pile of bones now.
Okay.
Just a pile. It looks like any other pile of bones that you've ever seen and encountered.
Can I take a finger bone?
Sure.
Cool.
You very quickly recognize the bones aren't what made this creature special.
Mm-hmm.
And all that scarring that you saw on the bones, that red line that your spiritual weapon made, that burn mark you made on the rib cage,
Mm-hmm.
those are gone. It is back to a normal rotting pile of bones that you would find in a dungeon that hasn't been touched for
Okay.
centuries.
She's gonna take just a quick beat to kind of see if he comes right back.
About 10 minutes go by. You still sitting out there? You go do something
Mm-hmm.
else.
Well, I don't know if she would even wait a full 10 minutes. She might wait like 5.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. How long are you actually going to wait?
Yeah, like 5 minutes,
Okay.
maybe 10,
He, has,
maybe 10 minutes.
he doesn't return.
Then she's gonna dip.
Okay. Where do you go?
This is her first time being alone since he was like, "Come with me,"
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, he has abandoned her. Almost.
Yeah. Then she's gonna go try to find her friends.
Okay. You walk out through the same pathways that you walked in, out to the front of the castle, back into that misty, cloudy grayness. Although, once you step outside the castle, that mist is almost gone for you. It's you see the sun shining through the fog. You can see there's no thick fog hanging over you anymore. It's just a normal sunny afternoon day. And you start heading which way?
Well, I'd like to, because is this the same day that they left?
This, as far as you know, as far
I'd
as
like
you
to,
know, you just know that you were knocked unconscious and had a couple visions and fought for your life, and now
I
you're
would like
leaving.
to, I would like to make a, I don't, would it be a nature or perception check or survival?
Nature to check what
To,
day it is.
no, to see if they like there's any tracks or any indication of which direction they went.
Uh, make a investigation check since you are actively looking for tracks.
21, nat 20.
21.
Nat
You
20, baby.
are unaware of. You don't find any tracks. You can't tell how long it's been. You don't know how long they've been gone. You don't know if they've been back. You don't see any sign of anybody else walking around in this town.
Am I on the correct plane of existence?
How would you know?
I don't know.
Seems like the one person that would know the answer to that you just walked away from.
Yeah, but like, what if he's gonna try to kill me and steal my power that I just found?
What if he's trying to help you? I'm gonna beat the other voice in your head here. Just playing devil's advocate. You've already walked out of the castle and you don't see any sign of your friends. You don't have any idea where you are. I mean, you know where you're at, but you don't have any idea where your friends are. Or
Right.
you know
I'm
what
just.
town they were trying to go to before you.
Oh, do I?
Yeah, you were trying to go to Luton to go kill that chick so that you could go back to East Matlock and let them know. So that the whole point of the journey, right, was to. It was so long ago.
Holidays, I forgot.
Yeah, yeah. You guys were in East Matlock. You did a couple of dumb things. You kind of were like on the shit list of the people there, but you got a tear back who had been missing.
Yeah.
And the terms of getting him back and the forgiveness of these debts that he owes these people was that you would go to Luton and kill this person and then go back. You don't know if your party has gone to Luton and killed this person and gone back, if they came back to check on you, if they are back in East Matlock, or if they've fucked off and gone somewhere else knowing them.
Yeah,
You don't
right.
have any idea.
Okay. Hold please. Hold please. Hold please.
You don't even know if you're on the material plane right now.
Mm-hmm.
You do see that the fog has been lifted.
Right. Suspicious. Um. Okay. Okay. I'm formulating a plan. Formulating a plan.
Okay, I'm assuming you have walked out of the castle and not gone anywhere.
I've not gone in. I'm like just outside the door.
You're like at the door where the skeletal guy was standing and wouldn't enter the castle from before. You're on like the
Right.
steps, right? Okay.
I'm on the precipice. I'm on the
Yeah.
threshold.
Yep.
So I think
I am going to sit on the steps and have a very brief, quiet little meditation to myself.
Okay. How long are you gonna sit for?
Well, for just a couple seconds at first,
Okay.
and then after probably like a 30-second, like just getting myself in the zone meditation, I'm going to Okay, question.
Yep.
About this spell. It's burning incense worth 10 GP. I have incense.
Sure.
I'm just burning the incense rather than
Yep.
spending the coin.
Yes.
Okay.
So take the incense out of your inventory.
okay. Which back to last I knew, a block of incense. Oh, I have two. Cool. So now I have one. And I'm gonna light it, and I'm going to cast Find Familiar
Okay.
and cast my little skeleton raven.
As you're deep into the this is like a 10-minute spell, isn't it? Like a 10-minute
1 hour.
cast. It's an
1
hour
hour.
long cast. Okay. Let me.
Oh, it takes an hour to cast the spell.
Yeah, it's a full hour to do.
Wow. Okay. Well, yeah, you do it anyway. Duration instantaneous.
Hold on. I think it's like an hour long, like a ritual cast almost, where you have this hour long thing to do, but then once it's done, it's instantaneous and it lasts for like forever. Right?
Yeah, until it dies.
Yeah, I believe. Yes, it
Then
takes an hour to cast it because it's not an action.
Right.
And then it's instantaneous once it happens, right? Like it happens and then it's done. It's not like a duration of like 4 days or whatever. Yes, so it takes an hour to cast. So you sit down on the steps and you begin casting this.
Yeah. And my thought process is because within it doesn't say that it has to stay within 100 feet of me. Just that our telepathic connection only works within 100 feet. So I was reading it, there's no maximum, like outside of this range it disappears.
Nope, it becomes a thing, but you can't directly control it outside of 100 feet, right?
It acts independently of you but obeys your commands. So my thought is I won't be able to communicate with it unless I'm within 100 feet of it, but I can tell it, go scout this location for my friends, and then come back to me with that information. And have it go scout while I'm sitting at the castle, so that I'm not this lone frog wandering around in the wilderness by myself. Because we don't have to talk while you're flying, you just have to go there. Do you see my friends? Yes? Come back. No? Still, come back.
Hold on. I just need to do some math.
Because it's an ally to me and my allies. It rolls its own initiative. It acts on its own turn, so it's like a whole separate being.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it is. So I need you. No, I don't need you to roll anything here. Okay. So as you are casting this, and you finish.
Sorry, real quick. What does pact mean?
I mean, pact.
With my spell slots.
Let me look. I can pull up your character sheet.
That thing says pact.
So you have a pact with your
My otherworldly being.
otherworldly being, who gives you an action. What is it? Where are you looking at in spells?
Next to first level.
Your pact is.
Because it's like something that you can activate or deactivate.
Yeah.
I just.
Oh, because Find Familiar is your a pact spell.
Okay, so if
So
I'm
you
doing
can cast Find Familiar with the pact instead of using the spell slot in order to cast it.
Got it.
Is what it is. It's basically you get a free cast for it. So I give you a free spell slot for it to use.
Okay. That's what I thought it was, but I
Yeah.
wasn't sure. Okay, then I
Yeah,
use
you get a free cast every day of it, so that it's part of the blessing that you have received. Because mostly you just need to have the companion there.
Right. So, okay, that's my plan. I'm sitting there, I do like a quick, like 30-second, 60-second meditation, get myself in the zone, and then I'm spending an hour casting to get my little skeletal raven.
Okay, so don't you have a dead bird in your bag?
I have a raven feather and some blood.
Didn't you
from a
grab
rabbit.
Don't you grab a dead bird at one point?
I don't think I have the whole bird. Because I have a hippogriff feather and a raven feather. I have.
But you wrapped up a bird at
I
one point.
buried a bird.
Oh, that's right. Okay, you buried the bird. Okay, so
yeah, I have a pouch of bones, a vial of rabbit blood, a raven feather, a rabbit skin, and a hippogriff feather.
okay, so as you are completing your ritual, you're casting, you're envisioning this companion that you're creating out of nothing. And upon completion of the spell, you open your eyes, and in front of you is your incense that you were burning, and nothing else. There is no raven, there's nothing, and you just hear from behind you, about 4 feet above you, "Having fun, are we?" You turn, and Malachar is standing there.
Said, no, actually, you were interrupting my meditation.
Oh, I'm
She
so
like looks out the side of her eye up at him, like just nonplussed.
sorry about that. I'm assuming you were looking for this, and he just kind of sticks his hand out, and this skeletal bird comes and lands on his hand. I'm assuming this is what you were looking for. I don't know if you realized it or not, but that pile of bones that you destroyed earlier seems to become a little bit more friendly to you. He pushes, and your bird flies around and comes and lands on your shoulder.
Is it missing the wingtip from the little finger bone that I took?
Yep, it is. Actually, it's got, its little feet.
Mhm.
One of them is just a nub.
I
So
love it.
it's got regular like claw talons,
Yeah.
and one of them's a nub, and that was the one that that
It's
you
like-
took.
I love it. Oh, poor guy.
He kind of goes, "Hello."
Oh, the Raven talks.
Well, of course I talk. Why wouldn't I talk? Kind of like takes his head, he like does a little couple hops on your shoulder and like nuzzles up to the side of your head with his
Mhm.
head, and it's bony and scratchy and doesn't really feel very good, but it's
Mhm.
whatever.
Whatever. Yeah.
Hello.
I'm Fen. It's nice to meet you.
Hi, Fen. I'm missing a toe.
Oh, I'm sorry. She genuinely like reaches into her pocket and is she just
Yeah,
hands
I
it
mean
up to
that
her.
kind of. So he puts it in his mouth and he like tries to like attach it to his foot, and he gets it on there, and then almost like a cartoon, it just kind of falls off on the ground. Oh well, I don't have thumbs. I don't know what to tell you.
I'll just keep it safe for now, and we can figure it out later.
All right, thanks.
Like puts it back in her pouch. Should I? What should I call you?
I, 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 you made me. What should
You
you
don't.
call me?
You don't have a name already. You don't have something you'd like to be called?
You didn't give me a name.
Okay.
You didn't give me a name. What kind of mother are you?
A thoughtful one.
Rude.
um. No, I'm gonna name him Eddie.
Eddie. I like that. That's a good name.
Oh, you're not gonna like it, Mike.
No, I like Eddie. It's a good name. It's fun.
Like Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's a terrible pun, but it's a decent name.
I used to work with a crow named Eddie. So.
Yeah. No, it's okay. I get it. It's fine.
And the Eddie I used to know used to bark like a dog.
I can work on that, but I've never heard what a dog sounds like yet.
He would go. He would go. Woo, woo,
Woo,
woo,
woo, woo, woo, woo. Like that?
woo.
Yeah, see, I could be a dog too. And he jumps down in front of you.
Why is he an Italian?
I don't know.
mobster?
He's an Italian mobster now. Woo, 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 woo. And he's like flapping his wings. Woo, 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 woo. Hey, I'm like a. Am I doing it?
I'm just imagining Joe Pesci's face on a raven. Hey, how about you mind your
Hey,
business?
I should have been a Goodfellas. You come to me on the day of my birth. Yeah, I think I can get used to this anything. It's alright. We're fine. I like you. You can be good to me, Mom.
Do you like rabbit and tea?
I've never had rabbit or tea. I was born 5 minutes ago. I don't know. I also don't really have a digestive tract, but like, we can give it a shot.
Okay.
Let's do it. Where do I get a rabbit from? What is a rabbit?
She actually, real quick.
Can you
I'm gonna
telepathically tell me and show me what a rabbit looks like with your mind's eye?
Right. No, she is gonna take. She's gonna fish into her little pack. And she's gonna pull out
a little piece of like the religious clothing that she has in her backpack,
Okay.
and like the vestments and things that she has, and she looks over the vestments to find a button.
Okay.
Tries to find one that's particularly shiny, like a polished rock or whatever. And she takes the button off of the little vestments and hands it to him. A little shiny button.
I don't have any taste buds. Tastes great. Tastes like squirrel.
It's not for eating. It's
Hold on. He spits it back up from
it
his.
didn't just like fall through the.
It did. It just kind of fell into his rib cage, and then he regurgitates it because he's a bird, right?
Just sitting in his metaphorical prop.
Yeah. In fact, he jumps up on top of your head and like is over top of your mouth, hoping to drop it into your mouth instinctively, like a mama bird.
No, a lot of corvids really like shiny objects, so I wasn't sure if you wanted a shiny button because they're kind of fun.
No. Thanks.
Okay. We'll figure out later some of the other stuff that you might like.
All right, that sounds good. I like fish.
I like fish.
Yeah, let's go get some fish.
Okay.
You know a good fish fry place here?
You're going through every accent in the book, and I'm here for it.
It's fine. It's fine. And you'll fall into something. I don't know. We'll get there.
He's an all American bird.
Yeah, it just kind of keeps going between like the upper mouth and the lower throat, and it just kind of morphs into something. It's fine. He doesn't have vocal cords, so it's whatever.
No.
It's magic.
So is Malachar doing anything while I'm having this conversation?
No, he's standing watching.
Okay.
Just waiting for you guys to be done.
I have a feeling this could continue forever.
It could.
Fen and Eddie could just vibe.
Yes.
All sorts of stupid shit.
Yes. Who's the dude?
What?
The behind you. That creepy guy. Staring at me like, I don't know. He wants to cook my leg.
Malachar, the one who brought you in here?
No, he didn't bring me in here. I just flew by him. Saw a perch. I landed on it. Bird things. Caw-caw!
He looks like he would make a good perch. He's quite tall.
Yeah.
I'm not very tall. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I think I used to eat frogs.
I have this scythe, though, and you could probably sit on top of it if you wanted.
Sick. It's like a perch for me to poop off of.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Don't poop on my head, please. It gets stuck in the slime, and then it gets really hard to get out.
I make no promises. He hops up onto your scythe and perches himself. One toe missing. And then he grabs the button that he threw on the ground and he shoves it into his eye, so he's got one eye that's a button.
Oh my god.
I kind of like this button thing.
It's very creepy. Just gonna start adorning himself with like trash. Kind of like most ravens, like the birds, they'll put it in their nest, and he just like tucks it.
Yeah, he just tucks it in his body.
He'll have like CVS receipts sticking out of his ribs, and some gum taped to the back of his jaw.
Well, I see you've had time to enjoy your newfangled powers. I feel like you and I need to have a little bit of a chat.
About what?
About what the significance of what you just did was.
Okay. She gets up because she's been sitting this whole time on the ground, so she stands back up and turns around and just stands in front of him. She's staring up at his 7 feet or however tall he is.
No, he's like a normal 6 foot tall person. It's fine.
Oh, just
Yeah,
6
he's
foot.
not the tall guy. The other one was.
I mean,
So,
either way, like 4 feet taller than me. So
yeah, right. So, how do I explain this to you without causing you to faint? Um, you and I have similar interests and paths that we have taken in our lives to get to where we are. Uh, the Raven Queen has entrusted me with some additional luxuries, we'll call them. In exchange, I provided her with a faithful servant. That's a good way to put that. Faithful servant. Unyielding, no questions asked, kind of just did what you told him to.
the
And
tall,
you,
dark, and handsome.
huh?
Mr. Tall, Dark, and Handsome.
Yes. His job was to make sure that her plans were followed through.
So he worked for the Raven Queen too?
Uh-huh. And you just killed him.
Hmm. But
So,
he was trying to kill me.
yes.
And the Raven Queen said that I was important. So if he was doing what she wanted and I'm also doing what she wanted, how that doesn't seem to make a lot of sense.
There is more at play here, Fen, than you and I. She is trying to align herself for when I don't even know if she wants me to tell you this.
Why wouldn't you want to why wouldn't you want to tell me?
She's trying to position herself in case the balance of power tips in a different direction, that she is able to continue to thrive in that new environment.
Well, we can't have that.
That's a very diplomatic way of putting it. We can't have what? Her thriving or the balances of power shifting?
Oh, she needs to be thriving.
Yes, I agree. And
I've
she
dedicated
agrees.
my whole life to making sure that she thrives.
And she is very thankful for that. Which is why she has blessed you with the powers that she has given you.
Look at this grout fit, by
The what?
the way. The grout fit.
The grout. I love it. I also have gray pants on, but they are shorts because I was doing my physical therapy today.
I'm a fashion icon.
Yes, this is my go-to. This is literally normal day.
Fashion icon.
She thought she had a different path that you could go down that might make you a little more useful to her, but unfortunately, that option is no longer available to her. So until I can conjure up another replacement, and seeing as how you used the two bodies I was going to need to use, I'll have to find some more. You might be called upon to do some of her side jobs. Is that okay?
Why just the side jobs? Why can't I help with the other things? With the big thing?
Do you... You can see him struggling internally about how much to reveal to you and what to tell you. Because you kind of get the feeling he doesn't know how to feel about you anymore after what just happened. Right? His demeanor towards you has changed, right? At first it was, hey, I'm going to take you under my wing and make you this apprentice, and now it's like he's trying to keep you at arm's length.
Right.
Um,
I've dedicated my whole life to serving the Raven Queen, and I'm gonna do that the best way that I can. And I'm not gonna let other people hold me back from serving her to the best of my ability.
yes. See, but there is a different game at play here. Serving her and doing her bidding are two separate things, right? Serving her and living your life in her honor and yada 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 blah blah blah, like all the other people around at the temples who are having blood sacrifices and visions and whatever. Anybody can do that. Actively being a part of the political game that she is involved with, well, she's not the only goddess.
She's the only one that matters to me.
And that attitude right there, Fen, is why she wanted you to go down a different path. She's not the only one, and each of them has their role to play. They're not all bad. They just have different interests. Sometimes those interests can be aligned and alliances can be formed. And other times those interests are in conflict with one another, and there is a very delicate game to be played in realms with powers that even I can't even imagine. Tread carefully, my young little friend. We both have a lot of work to do. Don't go get in over your head.
A lot of things are over my head.
Yes, there's a lot going on. There's a war going on. Do you know about this?
Is that the one that we started? She just like nonchalantly.
What war do you think that you started?
We had to get on a ship and escape from another land. There was people in power, and we got one of them killed, and then we left. We left it kind of a mess. I don't think we actually fixed the problem. I think we just caused the problem and then ran away.
Are you talking about the civil war up in Bellinah?
Yeah, I think so. She's like trying to like rack her memory because it's been so long. So many weird things have happened between then.
You see him, like, he's processing this, right? And it's like
What was that guy's name? I want to call him Peter. His name is not Peter.
Gifford. Peter was his son.
Yeah.
Peter was his son. You see,
Hey,
it's almost like, yeah, I'm shocked that you remembered. It's almost like, do you know how you feel when you're presented with like a math rule, and then like the next chapter in the textbook is like, yeah, that math rule is good for like 10% of them, but here's like the generic formula, and it's just infinitely more complicated.
Sure.
You could see him kind of like, okay, that's the face that he's making. And he's like, what in the everything I just learned is bullshit kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you were directly involved with what happened in Bellinah, is what you're telling me.
With Gifford? Yeah. We were trying to figure it out, and one thing led to another, and we were on a ship, and I got this peg leg from a pirate, and then our friend started shitting himself, and we lost him for a while, and then we opened up a casino with some elves, and now I'm here. That's her
And
That's for our English version.
and have you heard of any of the other fighting that's been going on in the realm?
There's kind of fighting everywhere that we go, but usually we're the ones that start it. Speaking of, do you know where my friends are? Because I don't. I probably should find them at some point.
They tried to come back and save you at one point. While we were in the middle of the ritual, they almost got you killed.
Oh, but they didn't. That's good.
They didn't, correct? But they almost interrupted the ritual, which would have
But
left
they're
you.
not dead, are they?
I did not kill them.
Okay. Do you know where they are?
No, I do not. They have not been back through here. No one has been through here since your party came in here initially.
She seems mildly perplexed, but is willing to move past it for now.
There's additional fighting going on to the south, east, to the east. I think he would call it to the east. There's additional fighting going on to the east. Alton Sherfield has mobilized some troops and has begun an assault on Stratham.
We go to Stratham.
You are in Stratham right now. You are on the edge of Stratham.
Okay.
Stratham is the kingdom. So, like, Bellinal was up in the top right? Here, I'll do it this way for you. Up in the top right. And then you sailed around the horn of the continent to the bottom right. So
Yeah.
most of that horn is Stratham until you get into the bottom, like, deserty area, where it's the Great Badlands. So the Great Badlands have launched an attack up into Stratham, which he is revealing to you right now. Alton cut me a deal that if I took Calamrock Castle for him, I would have it to do whatever I want. I thought that was a pretty decent offer.
Like our ritual. Was that that's like the stuff you wanted to do?
On a grander scale, right? Having one or two servants or apprentices is good.
Parties like discos. That's pretty grand.
More like I wanted to create armies.
That is pretty grand too, I guess. But
Yes.
I think an army would be a lot cooler with a disco ball.
I will put that into consideration for the next one that I make. But Alton promised me Calamrock Castle if I came and took it, which I have. And I was in the middle of trying to work out some kinks on some spells that I was working on. And then you guys showed up. I did not expect to meet one of her loyal servants. And now I'm starting to be concerned about the deal that I made.
Why?
Long ago, when dragons ruled this world, there was a little bit more acceptance for dabbling into the outer reaches of acceptable magic. I felt that Alton was trying to bring that acceptance back. But reports out of Stratham are that he has brought his own otherworldly armies in
From where?
There's a rumor, and I don't know if this is corroborated with anything, but there's a rumor that Castle Greywall has been infected by those blood-sucking assholes. Scared of the light. Ugh. Disgust me. Some trolls have taken over a castle or two. I don't know. I've been here trying to amass an army. And what I found was an apprentice and a whole bunch more work, really.
You mean that guy?
Yes, that guy. And he points over his shoulder. Yes, that guy. I need to make another one of him, and he already took me years to make. I don't know where I'm going to get a profit from.
You couldn't make one like how I made Alistair?
So you know how when you created Alistair and he was all janky and not really working right? There's a purity in the corpse that you use that's something I would have been able to teach you if we had more time here, but you know. His soul was tainted. It's pretty gross.
Alistair's soul was tainted?
Yeah, he's a pretty gross dude. Didn't have any like morals or standards about anything.
He did run away from us.
Yeah, he sucked. He sucked as a person. That's coming from me. I'm literally a necromancer. I raise undead bodies, and
I guess you have to have a good pulse on what their soul is like if you're playing with them.
yes, but I'm going to need your help. I need
Not my soul. I need that.
Fen, your soul is untouchable to me.
Why? I mean that's a good. I don't want to argue. I don't want to step. I don't mean to impose. She starts kind of just stammering to herself.
When you took down the Harbinger, she anointed you.
As a harbinger of what?
I think you know the answer to this already. Look at what you're wearing. Look at what you're holding. And for the first time, you look down at your arms, and you see that same cloak that he was wearing, that tattered, grotesque, rough, deep black cloak
Boy, she's spooky.
has draped itself over you.
She's spooky.
Mm-hmm. I don't think you really need to answer that question. I think what you need to answer is who. And that's not something I can give you. That's not something I can tell you. I think it's time you go, Fen.
To go find my friends? I thought you said we have a lot to learn.
We have to act fast. We need to position ourselves on the right side of this conflict that's coming. That's already started, in fact.
How do I do that if I don't know about the conflict? I feel like I'm being kept in the dark.
You are being kept in the dark.
Why? I'm little, but I can handle it.
Because we're not sure who the players are yet. We know the game that's being played. We know what the motives are. We know who's moving the pieces, but we don't know who the pieces are. On one side, You have the old guard. Hold on and I will tell you. Give me a second. On one side, you have Pelor, Moradin, Cord, Melora, trying to keep the peace, keep the balance. The dragons were kicked out centuries ago for a reason. Their oppressive natures were too much, but now it seems like Bahamut and Tiamat are trying to weasel their ways back in. There's been an unconfirmed sighting of a dragon up in Bellinah somewhere. But they have incredible powers. They have the god.
And we don't want, and the dragons would be a threat to the Raven Queen, right?
Well, she's a neutral party in this, right? She doesn't take sides. She is in and of herself just there and ever in, always her presence is always felt regardless of who's trying to be in power. She's trying to position herself so that if the old guard does fall, she doesn't fall with them.
Well, yeah, we don't want that.
Yes, we don't want that. I'll tell you what, Fen. Go and rejoin your friends, and I will send word when I have an update for you.
How?
You have a talking bird who is a skeleton next to you.
I forget.
Yes.
Forget. Fen forgot. Fen's like, oh, this is new.
You are eternally tethered to our mother.
She just kind of looks at Eddie. And she kind of looks at the side.
Just like I am eternally tethered to her. I will get word to you. We don't know what the next move is, but we know right now that with the Harbinger going down, there is a vacuum. And you are not ready.
I'll try to be ready. How do I find my friends?
Well, they came through here. Do you remember where you were initially going when you came into my beautiful domain?
Vaguely a little bit, but it was, I don't know, I've hit my head a lot between then now and then.
I think you should take a rest. Head off in the morning. We'll have dinner. Sit. Relax. You could take off at first light. Head
Thank
northeast.
you.
There's only one road.
Thank you, Malachar.
Yes. We have the game is afoot. Water? Of course I have water. There's water in the basin.
Great.
Yes, just go sit in the basin, weirdo.
She just turns around and like I'm imagining he's standing there, his legs like slightly ajar, shoes goes right through his legs.
Yep. Great. Out.
Cool, thanks.
And as you're walking away back to the basin, you just hear him go one last time. The game is afoot. It's time to make the first move. And that's where we're stopping.
Fuck yeah.